On the vast sea, an ancient sailing ship is riding the wind and waves, forging ahead bravely. The sails are full, the bow is breaking through the waves, and the masts are creaking in the wind. Inspiring music rises, filled with the spirit of adventure, reminding people of that legendary age of discovery. More than 500 years ago, a wave of exploration swept across the European continent. Countless brave navigators drove their sailing ships and ventured into unknown voyages. Some of them went to find new routes to the east, some to explore the legendary New World, and others to complete the feat of circumnavigating the globe. So, what kind of driving force motivated these explorers to willingly face the dangers of the vast ocean? And how did they, with their small wooden ships, change the world's landscape? Let us board the ship of time together and return to that exciting age of discovery, unveiling the mysterious veil of those great explorers and delving into the little-known stories behind them. From the 15th to the 17th century, European navigation technology made great strides. More accurate nautical charts, more reliable compasses, and more advanced ship designs. These technological innovations made long-distance exploration possible. People began to yearn to explore the unknown world and to find new wealth and opportunities. The European powers at that time, especially Portugal and Spain, had a strong interest in exploration. They hoped to find new routes to the east, bypassing the Mediterranean and reaching the spice-producing regions of Asia directly. This would not only allow them to break free from the commercial monopoly of the Italian city-states, but also bring great wealth to their countries. At the same time, the legend of a new continent existing on the other side of the Atlantic also piqued the curiosity of explorers. The discovery of a new continent meant new lands, resources, and colonial opportunities, which was undoubtedly a huge temptation for European countries at the time. Thus, Portugal and Spain started a race for exploration. They sent out expeditions one after another, searching for new routes along the west coast of Africa or crossing the Atlantic in search of new continents. Kings generously funded exploration activities, hoping to be the lucky ones to find new routes or new continents first. In this way, driven by both interests and curiosity, a grand age of discovery began. One brave explorer after another, like those sailing ships riding the wind and waves, was about to write their own legends. Among the many explorers of the Age of Discovery, 3 stories are particularly legendary: Christopher Columbus, Vasco da Gama, and Ferdinand Magellan. Columbus was an Italian navigator who believed that by sailing westward, he could reach the east. Although the mainstream view at the time was that this was a crazy idea, Columbus stuck to his dream. With the funding of Queen Isabella III of Spain, Columbus finally obtained 3 ships and began his voyage of exploration. In 1492, Columbus accidentally discovered a new continent, the Americas. Although he believed until his death that he had reached Asia, this discovery completely changed the European worldview, and the emergence of the New World brought unlimited opportunities for Europe. The Portuguese da Gama, on the other hand, was determined to open a sea route to India by circling Africa. In 1497, da Gama led a fleet southward along the West African coast, successfully rounded the Cape of Good Hope, entered the Indian Ocean, and finally reached the port of Calicut in India. Although the journey was full of dangers and challenges, da Gama's adventurous spirit eventually opened up a maritime Silk Road to the east for Portugal. This new route not only brought huge trade profits to Portugal, but also changed the entire Eurasian trade landscape. And Magellan completed the first circumnavigation in human history. In 1519, Magellan was commissioned to lead a fleet of 5 ships westward around South America to find a new route to the east. They crossed the strait that was later named the Strait of Magellan after him, and entered an unknown ocean, the Pacific. Magellan's fleet's journey was filled with thrilling stories. They experienced severe weather, food shortages, mutinies by sailors, and other difficulties. Magellan himself unfortunately died along the way. But in the end, his fleet completed the circumnavigation, proving that the Earth is round, greatly expanding human geographical knowledge and opening up a global perspective. The exploration activities of the Age of Discovery had a far-reaching and complex impact on the world's landscape. First, The opening of new routes opened up the major arteries of global trade. Columbus's discovery of the New World and Da Gama's opening of the Indian Ocean route. These new routes were like a net covering the globe, connecting the world more closely. Goods, organisms, and technologies began to flow around the world, and a global trade network initially formed. The concept of globalization thus germinated, and the world began to become a closely interconnected whole. Second, the Age of Discovery triggered the colonial expansion of European countries, profoundly changing the world's landscape. European countries represented by Spain and Portugal began to establish colonies in the Americas, Asia, and Africa, obtaining raw materials and cheap labor from the colonies, selling industrial products globally, and accumulating a large amount of wealth. Europe began to become the center of the world, while Asia, Africa, and the Americas became vassals of Europe. This unequal global power comparison influenced the course of world development for hundreds of years thereafter. Finally, the Age of Discovery accelerated the convergence and collision of different civilizations. European civilization spread to the world through colonial activities, but at the same time also absorbed ideas, technologies, and products from other civilizations. The Bible and the Analects of Confucius spread to the world by ship, and crops native to the Americas such as corn and potatoes were introduced to the Eurasian continent, profoundly changing people's diet structure. The process of cultural globalization greatly accelerated, promoting the progress of human civilization. But the collision of different civilizations also brought war, colonization, and inequality, becoming an issue that needs to be vigilant and reflective. Today, as we look back on the Age of Discovery, it is not only to commemorate those great explorers, but also to draw wisdom and strength from them. The courage, curiosity, and adventurous spirit demonstrated by explorers such as Columbus, Da Gama, and Magellan are valuable qualities worthy of learning by each of us. In them, we see the precious spirit of daring to challenge the unknown and bravely pioneering and innovating. This spirit is equally precious in today's world. The Age of Discovery opened the curtain of globalization, and today we live in a highly globalized world. But globalization should not be one-dimensional, but should be based on equality and mutual learning. We should examine human development with a global perspective, promote exchanges and mutual learning between different cultures, and make diverse cultures the common wealth of humanity. Only in this way can we build a more inclusive and equal community with a shared future for mankind. Looking to the future, humanity still faces many challenges: climate change, disease epidemics, energy shortages. We call for us to inherit and carry forward the spirit of the explorers and face future challenges with the courage to pioneer and innovate. Just like those navigators riding the wind and waves, let us join hands and sail with the wind of dreams towards a better future. The Age of Discovery may have become history, but the spirit of the explorers is always the beacon of our way forward. Let us draw wisdom from history and write a new chapter belonging to us in the new era.